Welcome back to SwitchCorner. My name is Alex and today we're going to be taking a look at my favourite deals coming in under $10 or your local currency. Here I'm going to be covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia, and while we had a massive sale to kick off the new year, this new batch of deals, it still has me impressed. There's a few returning favourites but also then a few new low prices as well, so hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family and let's get started. 15 games for you all today, then starting with Project Warlock, and this one it's going to be for the retro first-person shooter fans out there. For me, it's going to be up there with experiences like Dusk that take influence from like a similar batch of titles. This one though come here for old school pixel style gunplay but with a modern twist, because that's all thanks to a character that can actually work with upgrade points. Throw in then though tons of weapons, enemies and 60 levels across 5 settings, and this is good stuff as you set out to take down evil. Yes, the story, it's definitely not deep, but the actions, fist scroll, and that's really all you need. A new low price then, 60% off. Well, I'm on kind of throwback, send ToeJam and Earl back in the groove, a roguelike adventure. These fan favourite characters, they are back on Earth with the usual, old school kind of hip hop and 90s infused style. The idea though, navigate Earth and retrieve all the lost pieces of the Rap Master rockets. It supports up to 4 players though, has a fair few secrets, there's a fair amount of references in here, and it's matching the low 86% off. I liked it enough I even picked up a physical release. Now before we do continue with today's list, then a quick word about today's sponsor. A shout out then to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's video. This one it needs, let's face it, little introduction. Most recently you'll see Jeff Goldblum, the man, the myth, the legend in their most recent ads. Now let's talk about it here too on the channel. 600 champions, each with their own factions and history. My link it is down below in the pinned comment, make sure to check it out to not only support them but also the channel directly. In game, most recently then we got a new clan boss, that is Hydra, 6 heads, all trouble, think the head of Blight. That one loves poison, use fire in retaliation, and then even the head of Torment. That's going to hit you with fear to get the better of your team. None are easy, and that's just 2 of the 6 involved. Outside of that then they even have a brand new faction, War's Crypt, and that is the Shadowkin. As always though, look, this is Raid, we are talking about new champions, enemies and modes. They are commonplace, so check it out in the pinned comment down below. Use my code as well, and those new to the game, expect a free champion, 200,000 silver, 1 energy refill, 1 XP boost and 1 ancient shard. Jump in though, check it out and see if Raid Shadow Legends is gonna be the world for you. Alright, so next up then, a long way down. This one's for the deck builder fans out there. It's an easy game, however, I'm going to be telling you that much up front. That said, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I wanted to point this one out because if you fancy trying your hand at the genre but you're unsure of the learning curve, the challenge, then maybe come here first. It's blending together though RPG, dungeon crawling and deck building. You can upgrade items as needed and you're looking to escape a maze that has you trapped. It matches the low price then, 85% off. Collapse then gets a new low price and it's rocking 55% off. Spoke about this one a few times now and I'll always give the same warning. I wasn't sure at first, I felt like it started slow, but once you really get going and the controls become, comfortable, it's definitely got some great gameplay. It's a roguelike platformer, you are out uncovering what happened to this, post-apocalyptic world. A nice selection of weapons or locations, enemies, and as it is kind of traditional with this genre, there's a big focus here with working through a skill tree, kind of shaping our lead. I like the visual style too, though I definitely think it's worth a look. Taiko no Tatsujin, drum and fun, then this is one I love. It's 84% off, a new low price. It's a drum rhythm game. You can use controller, you can use motion with Joy-Con, which it's actually not bad at all, or you can actually part with a serious chunk of change and pick up the drum accessory. That's something I invested in, I love it, creates a right racket in the house, so the wife for sure hates the thing, but it's a blast to actually implement in the game. Great selection of tracks and levels, you can dial up that challenge of course as you need, and then visually I think it's simple but absolutely effective. Monster Energy Supercross 3, then I'll keep it quick. If you want some Supercross action, this is as good as it gets on the Nintendo Switch. Unfortunately, this is the last entry we saw. It's since moved on to accommodate the power of the PS5 and Series X, but I still like what it has. You know, there's a huge amount of options, career modes, quick races, just all sorts. Problems, the physics, they can still occasionally be a little wonky on the racing field. It is reduced to match the power of the hardware. I do miss the series though. Now it's gone on my full review, it's in the pinned comment down below. It's matching the low price though, 85% off. If you want something race focused but more in line with, let's say, an arcade experience, check out Grip. It's matching the low here, 85% off. It's all about futuristic racing with this one, you know, 29 tracks, 4 planets, power-ups, so offensive and defensive, weapons, split screen online play, though it's definitely been a while since I jumped in. I imagine things are kind of pretty quiet there. And then there's even a battle mode alongside career. Tons of great cars though as well, and it even received a free update adding anti-grav. Outside of a few performance issues though, I really enjoyed it, and those issues, I will say, they didn't do enough here to harm my time with the game. My pickup of the week then, I'm finally grabbing Mushroom Wars 2. I've been wanting to check this one out now for a while. It's finally back on sale, 70% off, and that is a new low price. As always, I haven't played this one, so it's whether you really want to take the risk with me, but I do hear good things. It's real-time strategy, we don't see a huge amount on the system. There's 100 missions, or at least over 100 missions. Online, multiple character classes, local play as well. That's not bad for the price we are paying here in my eyes. It's kind of that sweet spot where I, won't regret the amount if I'm not too keen. Scribblenauts Mega Pack then is a series that in my eyes it just hasn't received enough love recently, but it's a great compilation of 2 titles. You got Unlimited, but then also Unmasked, which is a DC Comics crossover. They've added some new content as well though, making it one of the best ways to now play the games. It's an adventure puzzle game though. The first, you're uncovering the story of Maxwell's siblings. In the second, that DC entry, of course, you're going to be battling it out against villains. The main idea though is minor platforming and then solving quests, so type out words to solve a problem on screen and make something appear in this world. I definitely watch a full review first, but there's no other games out there quite like it, and it's matching the low price, 85% off. Coffee Talk then, with a new low price of 40% off. It's for sure an acquired taste, this one, but the beauty of it, there's actually a demo on the eShop that you can check out first, or at least that's what I'm seeing here in the US. It's tagging itself here as a coffee brewing and talking simulator. The idea though, talk to customers, listen to their problems and kind of help them out. It's set in Seattle, it's got this fantasy setting, but the story is told absolutely relatable, and I love the lo-fi soundtrack and visual style. It's definitely not action-packed, nor is it particularly long, but I really enjoyed it. It's kind of one to chill out to, and I'm actually looking forward now to seeing more of this world in the upcoming sequel. A whole new world then, and I'll tell you now, not a new low price, but it's now capped in the US and Canada with the $1.99 mark, but we haven't seen this in over a year, and retro fans, this one is well worth it. I originally played it on, I think it was either the PS4 or the Vita. I received a limited physical copy of it, but it's hard as nails, but also quality stuff. Here the world is being invaded though by Upside Down World. You are the potion master, you're setting out to defeat them. There's no tutorials or easy mode, think a whole lot of platforming and shooting, with tons of enemies, boss moments, and even a few options here like story, game plus, boss rush mode, and even challenge mode. If Upside World didn't give it away as well, the game will indeed rotate, so that screen is reversed, you are platforming upside down, and that definitely makes it tough. Into the final 3 games then, and a gem to kick us off, that is Darkwood. I never thought a pixel-styled top-down experience could be creepy, and this one absolutely proved me wrong. It's survival horror, and it promises on the eShop no jump scares. That is true, but it still gets under the skin, it's tense, and for me honestly that is so much worse. The idea is simple enough though. You are in a forest, you have an opportunity now to change this world, and in the daytime it's very much, gather resources, craft weapons, work on the hideout, make traps. At night though, expect monsters to come out as you hide out in your base. It is randomly generated, this one. You'll be building up your character though to overcome this world. It's matching the low price then, 60% off. Our penultimate game of the video then, in celebration of violence, 80% off marks a new low price. It's an action roguelike, it's top down and simple in design, but do not let that deceive you. It's often brutal with its difficulty as you work out not only attacks but defense and parry. It supports a local play up to 4 players, it's completely over the top. Boss moments, they are great fun, and then there's a whole lot of like spells and special abilities to uncover. Like any in the genre though, survive as long as possible, eventually like level up and be just that little bit more prepared for that next attempt. It is procedurally generated too, keeping things fresh. Our final game of the video then, Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. He got a massive price cut here with 80% off, a new low price, and this shouldn't need an introduction. It was released in 2019 to celebrate the 10th anniversary, and I honestly think it stands up to this day. It's an action RPG, you're setting out to save the world, civilizations, they're kind of at this breaking point over what is an ancient technology. This upgrade then sees the visuals updated, they added new music, there's new DLC, and there's even 2 new playable characters. Looks fantastic though, almost this cel-shaded style to it all, and this is about as polished as they come in the genre. And that's another week down. Will you be adding anything to the library this week, or are you holding onto that cash? A shout out then to the patrons of the channel who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we will do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.